What's going on, Forge Nation? Today we're going to talk about a trend that I saw all over Overland Expo, SEMA, and the interwebs, Portal Axles. Now, is it something that is totally worth it? Is it overhyped, or is it just going to break the bank? Let's find out today as I dive deep into the thing that everyone's talking about that no one can afford. All right, for starters, let's talk about the big benefit of Portal Axles, ground clearance. The whole point of a Portal Axle is it raises the axle's center line, not just your rig's overall height. It's like putting your rig on stilts without looking like it skipped leg day. So how it works is the Portal Axle uses a gear reduction system at the hub, which lifts the axle and the differential. The diff sits higher on the ground, so your rig has more clearance, especially important when crawling over rocks, logs, or whatever the trail throws at you. The main benefit of this is you're riding higher without needing a massive lift kit, so you could tackle obstacles that would normally scrape your diff on the rocks. On top of that, you ever notice why Subaru soy boys can off-road just as good as some of the Jeeps? They have a really low center of gravity. So not only are you lifting the body and the axle up, which gives you more clearance, you're not necessarily increasing the height of your vehicle, which is extremely important when it comes to hardcore off-roading. Now that we've gone over clearance, let's talk about torque. With Portal Axles, you get some magic gear reduction without having to swap out the differential on your vehicle. This gives you more torque at the wheels, which means more crawlability in low-speed situations. Think of it as getting a shot of espresso for your rig. Suddenly, everything's moving with more power, which makes sense because if you go from a 4:13 gear ratio on a Jeep with 35s to a 5:13 with 40s, you're going to be able to get that mechanical advantage. So I am definitely a kid that went to public school, and I can't talk to you necessarily about every little detail and dork out about gear ratios, but I can tell you this. Portal Axles will give you more torque and more power because it's using mechanical advantage at the Portal Axle and not at the differential. This is great because you don't have to swap out the axle, you don't have to swap out the differential, you're already set to go with Portal Axles. All right, let's get nerdy for a second. Portal Axles reduce the gearing at the wheels, multiplying the torque being sent to the ground, which gives you more power at the wheels without overstressing your engine or axles or differentials. The result, you could crawl over steep hills, big rocks, and all those tough obstacles with ease without burning out your engine or transmission, which definitely never done before. Yeah, I've done that several times. Another great benefit is you're gonna reduce the stress on your drivetrain, which is like your rig's spine. You don't want it breaking under pressure, right? Portal Axles take some of the strain off your drivetrain by spreading the load more efficiently. Because of the reduction in the gear ratio at the axle, Portal Axles allow your drivetrain to run smoother at low speeds. The lower gear ratios and the added clearance give your axles a little bit more breathing room, reducing the chances of damaging your drive shaft or U-joints, which are also things that I've definitely broke before. And the result of using Portal Axles is you have less wear and tear in your drivetrain, which means fewer trips to the shop and more trail time, which means more smiles per mile, baby. Let's talk about articulation. You like flexing? Well, so does your off-road vehicle. And Portal Axles give your suspension more room to flex, which means your wheels stay in contact with the ground more often, making for a smoother ride over rough terrain. If you've ever had a Jeep and disconnected the sway bar, you know that more articulation means you're gonna be able to grip things a lot better and safer, and you can have more fun. Sometimes safer means more fun, not always. The higher axle clearance and better gear reduction provide more room for your suspension to move. And the added clearance allows your tires to stay planted longer during articulation, keeping the ride stable while climbing boulders or navigating uneven terrain. The result? More traction and smoother crawling over uneven, rocky, or rutted trails. Now, you know how I feel about big tires. The bigger, the better. No rig is complete without some meats. And with Portal Axles, you don't have to worry about your tires scraping or rubbing against the frame. Portal Axles allow you to run even larger tires without lifting the heck out of your rig. Again, lower center of gravity, even with bigger tires. Since Portal Axles raise the axle center line, you get sweet extra space for bigger tires without messing around with your suspension setup. Plus, your rig looks awesome with those beefy tires on it. Just like me, with a little beefiness on it. Awesome. When you're off-roading, stability is key, and Portal Axles help by lowering the effective center of gravity of your vehicle, even if you're running larger tires. Think of it like strapping your rig down to the ground for more control, but without sacrificing height for obstacles. The increase in axle height doesn't just lift your rig, it also helps distribute the weight more evenly and lowers the overall center of gravity. This means better stability on steep inclines and declines, which means less chance of tipping over while crawling through steep terrain or navigating those loose surfaces like mud or sand. Let's be real, if you're going off-road, your rig is gonna take a beating, unless you're going to the mall and you have off-road rig, which is fine too. Sort of. They can handle more abuse than your average axle. So whether you're bashing through rocks or slinging through deep mud, Portal Axles are up for the challenge. Now, it goes without saying that even with Portal Axles, the Portal Axle is actually located on the wheel hub. Your axle is still, the lowest point of your vehicle. So if you bang that into a rock really hard, you could still damage your vehicle. However, with the additional clearance and less stress on your truck or SUV, you're gonna be able to push this thing way harder than if you were to have stock axles on it. Portal axles are really designed to take the punishment that off-roading delivers. Their sturdy construction and increased clearance means they're less likely to get damaged when you're bouncing over rough terrain. And more durability means fewer repairs. You're in it for the long haul, and Portal axles definitely cost a pretty penny, so you might as well run them for a while. That being said, if you could afford it, it is a modification that I would highly recommend. Some really great companies out there, 74 Weld is one of them that I would recommend. And overall, I think one of our vehicles in the future will definitely have Portal axles on it. I'm excited to try it and check it out. If you want to learn more about Forge 4x4 or see what we're giving away right now, go to forge4x4.com. Best way to support the channel is buy some merch that gets you entered to win our active sweepstakes rig. Thank you for watching, guys. Feel free to subscribe if you want or don't. It's free. And if you've watched this video all the way to the end and see me just sipping coffee and babbling on, you deserve a free subscription. So check it out. Go to forge4x4.com.